Welcome back to our channel World of Coins, the place where we uncover hidden treasures in your coin collection. Have you ever wondered if that old coins could be worth thousands or even millions? Well, today's your lucky day. We're diving into some of the rarest and most valuable U.S. coins that might be sitting right under your nose. Let's jump in and see if you've got a fortune waiting to be discovered. Top 1. In the everyday world of pocket change and coin jars, it's easy to overlook the tiny copper-colored penny. But for those who truly understand the value of history, rarity, and error, even a 1-cent coin can be worth a small fortune. Today, we're uncovering the surprising story behind the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from 1971. The 1971 Lincoln penny might appear ordinary. It's small, it's light, and it's something we've all handled countless times. But what if we told you that one of these unassuming coins could be hiding in plain sight with the potential to change your financial life forever? The Lincoln cent is a legend in the world of American coinage. It was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, and it marked the first time in U.S. history that a real person appeared on a circulating coin. Since then, it has become the longest-running coin design in American currency. The obverse, or front side, of the 1971 penny features Lincoln's timeless profile, designed by Victor David Brenner. The simplicity of the design, with Lincoln's profile facing right, has remained largely untouched over the decades. Above him reads the nation's motto, "In God We Trust," with "Liberty" to his left and the date to his right. On the reverse, we see the Lincoln Memorial, a powerful national symbol located in Washington, D.C. This design, by Frank Gasparo, replaced the earlier wheat ears in 1959 and was used for the reverse of the penny until 2008. If you look closely, you can see a tiny seated Lincoln within the memorial, an impressive detail for such a small surface. Now, what makes the 1971 penny special? The year 1971 might not sound particularly historic, but for collectors, it holds a unique position. While the mint produced billions of pennies that year, not all were created equal. Some contain rare errors, striking differences, and exceptional qualities that make them worth far more than 1-cent pennies. In 1971 were made at 3 U.S. mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins carried no mint mark, while Denver pennies are marked with a D, and San Francisco coins bear an S. These small letters tell us where the coin was minted and can play a major role in its desirability. San Francisco's 1971 pennies were primarily proof coins, specially struck using polished dies to produce high-quality coins for collectors. These are known for their mirror-like fields and frosted details, making them some of the most visually stunning coins ever produced by the mint. But even within the proof coins, things can go wrong. And that's where the real value comes in: error coins. These are coins that, due to minting mistakes, end up with doubling, misaligned strikes, or even being struck on the wrong planchet. In the coin world, an error can be a golden opportunity point. One of the most famous varieties of the 1971 penny is the double die obverse, DDO. This error happens when the die used to strike the coin is imprinted twice out of alignment, resulting in noticeable doubling of letters or numbers. For the 1971 penny, some show doubling in God We Trust, Liberty, or the date itself. The double die obverse from 1971, especially those from San Francisco, are some of the most sought-after error coins in Lincoln cent history. Even minor doubling, if authenticated, can fetch thousands. But those with strong, visible doubling in mint state condition are exceptionally rare. Other errors include off-center strikes, where the coin's design is pushed too far in one direction, leaving a blank crescent on the surface. Depending on how off-center the strike is, and whether the date remains visible, these coins can command impressive prices from collectors. A rarer and even more fascinating error is a wrong planchet strike. This means a 1971 penny was struck on a blank intended for a different coin, such as a dime or a foreign coin. These mistakes are extremely rare and add tremendous value to any coin. Beyond errors, condition and grading are major factors in a coin's worth. Coins are graded on a scale of 1 to 70, with MS, mint state, 65 or higher considered premium quality. A 1971 penny in MS 67 or above, especially with a rare error, becomes a true collector's dream. Coin grading services like PCGS and NGC are trusted worldwide. Having your 1971 penny certified by one of these organizations adds credibility and opens doors to higher auction prices. Many collectors won't even consider buying a high-value coin unless it's been professionally graded. Another important detail to watch for is color. Copper coins come in three main finishes: brown, and red. The red coins are the most desirable, as they have preserved their original mint color and luster. A bright red 1971 penny in mint state is a thing of beauty, and a powerful investment. You might be surprised to learn that many valuable 1971 pennies have been found in everyday places. Change jars, bank rolls, estate collections, and even pocket change have revealed rare treasures. It just takes a keen eye, a little patience, and the knowledge of what to look for. Coin auctions have seen dramatic moments when rare 1971 pennies hit the spotlight. Collectors from around the world compete fiercely for top-grade examples, especially those with certified errors and unique features. Bidding wars are not uncommon, and final prices can be jaw-dropping. What's amazing is how this one small coin can carry so much value, history, and fascination. It's a tiny piece of American heritage that continues to gain popularity year after year, attracting everyone from casual collectors to professional numismatists. The best part? Anyone can get started. You don't need to be a millionaire to enjoy coin collecting. All it takes is curiosity, a little research, and maybe a magnifying glass. The next valuable find could be hiding in plain sight, maybe even in your pocket right now. Collectors often say that coin collecting is like a puzzle. Each date, mint mark, and variation adds a new piece to the big picture. And in that puzzle, the 1971 Lincoln penny plays a significant role, a coin that continues to surprise and reward those who understand its story. Whether you're new to coin collecting or a seasoned hobbyist, the 1971 penny is one you shouldn't ignore. It's not just a coin, it's a gateway into a world of hidden value, American legacy, and historical mystery. So, next time you come across a penny with the year 1971, don't just toss it into a coin jar. Hold it in the light. Look at the details. Check for doubling, errors, and color. That ordinary-looking cent might be far more extraordinary than you ever imagined. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for. One remarkable 1971 Lincoln 1-cent penny, featuring a dramatic double-die obverse, preserved in mint state red condition, and professionally graded, was sold to a private collector for a stunning total of $155,000. Top 2. Every once in a while, something seemingly ordinary turns out to be extraordinary. A small coin you've passed by hundreds of times, a humble penny, could be worth far more than anyone would expect. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1976 Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin minted during America's bicentennial year. While 1976 is well known for the special designs on quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins celebrating 200 years of American independence, many people forget that the penny also has a place in that historic moment. Though it didn't feature a new design, the 1976 penny played a quiet, yet important role in the nation's daily transactions. Millions of 1976 pennies were exchanged, saved, and forgotten during a time when the entire country was reflecting on its past and dreaming of its future. These coins became part of that story, tucked in pockets during celebrations, fireworks, and patriotic parades. But some of them held more than just historical significance. The Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for nearly 7 decades by the time 1976 arrived. First issued in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, the coin quickly became an American classic, with Lincoln's iconic profile on the obverse, representing unity, leadership, and freedom. That same design, created by Victor David Brenner, remained on the 1976 version. Lincoln's thoughtful profile is surrounded by the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," while the year, 1976, is prominently placed to the right. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, continues the tribute to America's values. Even though the penny didn't receive a special bicentennial design like other denominations, it's still part of that historic era. But beyond its patriotic connections, the 1976 Lincoln penny is also notable for another reason: its hidden potential value. Most 1976 pennies were made from 95% copper and 5% zinc. This composition remained in use until the early 1980s, when the mint switched to cheaper copper-plated zinc. That makes these older copper pennies heavier, more durable, and often more desirable to collectors. The 1976 Lincoln penny was produced at 3 different U.S. mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, with a D, and San Francisco, with an S. Each mint produced millions, but the condition, mint mark, and certain rare errors determine which of these coins are worth just 1 cent, and which are worth a fortune. Let's start with condition. Most coins in circulation get worn down from years of use. Scratches, nicks, and discoloration reduce their value. But a coin that was never circulated, one that's been kept in pristine condition for decades, is a different story. These are called mint state coins and are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS 65 or higher is considered especially valuable, meaning it still holds its original shine, detail, and sharpness. The best of the best, with full red luster and no signs of wear, are in incredibly high demand among collectors. Now, let's talk about error coins, the real treasures of numismatics. Errors occur when something goes wrong during the minting process, creating rare and unique coins. In the case of the 1976 penny, several errors have turned everyday coins into collector's gold. One of the most famous and valuable errors is the double die obverse. This happens when the coin's die is stamped twice slightly off from the original position, causing doubling in the date, lettering, or design. A 1976 penny with clear doubling can be worth far more than its face value. Another popular error is the off-center strike, where the coin wasn't properly aligned during minting. Depending on how far off-center the strike is, and whether the date is still visible, these coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. There's also the broad strike error, where a coin is struck without the collar that shapes its rim. This results in a flatter, wider coin with a smooth edge. A 1976 penny with this type of error is not only visually unusual, it's also very collectible. The San Francisco Mint's proof coins from 1976 deserve a special mention. These were made for collectors and struck with extra care using polished dies. A proof 1976 S Lincoln penny in PR 70 condition, the highest grade, can command premium prices due to its flawless appearance. Another rare scenario is when coins are struck on the wrong planchet, the blank metal disc intended for another denomination or even a foreign coin. A 1976 penny struck on a dime planchet, for example, would be smaller, lighter, and potentially worth thousands due to its rarity. Even a missing mint mark can create value. While Philadelphia pennies usually don't have a mint mark, if a Denver or San Francisco coin is missing its intended mark due to a fill die or minting flaw, it becomes instantly more interesting to collectors. Color also matters. Copper pennies come in 3 color designations: brown, and full red. A full red 1976 penny, especially one in uncirculated condition, is far more desirable than one that's darkened over time. There's also interest in die cracks, die chips, and other small anomalies that occur during the coin's production. Even a tiny raised line across Lincoln's face or the memorial can make a coin one of a kind and highly collectible. Auctions have shown time and time again that even a common-looking penny can surprise everyone. With the right combination of rarity, condition, and demand, bidding wars can send the price soaring. That's what makes coin collecting so thrilling. You never know when you're holding something truly special. Collectors around the world spend years hunting for that perfect piece, the kind of coin that completes a set, adds a missing variation, or simply dazzles with its beauty and rarity. And some of those coins have been hiding in junk drawers and coin jars for decades. The 1976 penny is part of American history, minted during the country's 200th birthday and quietly circulating through daily life ever since. But as time goes on, fewer high-quality examples remain, making the surviving mint state coins all the more valuable. If you're lucky enough to have a 1976 penny in uncirculated condition, it's worth taking a closer look. Check for errors. Examine the details. Weigh the coin. Look at the date. That 1-cent coin could be something incredibly rare. You don't need expensive equipment to start the search. A magnifying glass, a digital scale, and a bit of curiosity go a long way. You might be surprised at what you discover. Right in your own home, thousands of collectors are actively searching for error coins, rare varieties, and high-grade examples of the 1976 Lincoln penny. And the market for these coins is hotter than ever. So whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a curious beginner, the 1976 penny offers an exciting opportunity. It's a coin that invites questions, inspires discovery, and, in some cases, delivers astonishing rewards, because among the billions of 1976 pennies produced, a handful stand out from the rest. They shine brighter, hold their detail longer, and carry rare imperfections that transform them into prized possessions. And now, for the part that leaves collectors stunned. One spectacular example of the 1976 Lincoln 1-cent penny, featuring a dramatic mint error, preserved in full red uncirculated condition, and graded at the highest mint state level, was recently sold to a private buyer for an unbelievable $135,000. Top 3. In a world where the smallest things often go unnoticed, it's amazing how a tiny coin, one that people toss into jars, ignore on sidewalks, or spend without thinking, can carry secrets worth a fortune. Today, we explore the surprising value and fascinating story of the 1981 Lincoln 1-cent penny. At first glance, the 1981 penny looks like any other coin you've used at a vending machine or found in your pocket change. But behind its copper glow lies a world of numismatic intrigue, rare varieties, mint errors, and collector demand that continues to grow with every passing year. This humble 1-cent coin was born during a significant transition in American minting. While the change in penny composition officially took place in 1982, the 1981 issue marked the end of an era. It was one of the final years the U.S. Mint struck pennies using the traditional 95% copper, 5% zinc alloy, a composition that had been used for decades. The design on the obverse of the 1981 Lincoln penny is the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This iconic image has remained virtually unchanged since 1909, a timeless tribute to the president who led the United States through the Civil War. Above Lincoln's head reads the inscription, "In God We Trust." To his left is the word "Liberty," and to his right, the date, 1981. While the design appears simple, every line, letter, and curve was placed with great thought, and sometimes, those small details can reveal rare errors or varieties. Turn the coin over, and you'll find the Lincoln Memorial standing proudly on the reverse. Designed by Frank Gasparo, this architectural tribute shows even the seated statue of Lincoln if you look closely. This reverse design was used from 1959 until 2008, and the 1981 issue is part of that long-standing tradition. The 1981 penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins bear no mint mark. Denver coins carry a D mark, while San Francisco coins, usually proof coins, feature an S mint mark and were produced with mirror-like surfaces for collectors. Proof coins from San Francisco are especially prized among collectors when found in flawless condition. These coins were never meant for circulation and were carefully struck multiple times to bring out exquisite detail and contrast between the raised designs and the flat fields. What really makes the 1981 penny so fascinating is the presence of varieties and errors. These imperfections, often invisible to the untrained eye, are what can transform a common coin into a collector's dream. Among the most famous of these is the double die obverse error. In certain 1981 pennies, you can see a slight doubling of the letters in Liberty, or In God We Trust, or in the digits of the date. These double dies occur when the die used to strike the coin is impressed more than once in slightly different positions. Collectors go crazy for these double die pennies, especially when the doubling is clear and the coin is in uncirculated condition. In some cases, these errors are not discovered until years after the coins enter circulation, making them rare and highly desirable. Another collectible feature is the off-center strike, where the coin is misaligned during the minting process. This results in part of the design being shifted or missing entirely. The more dramatic the off-center error, and if the date is still visible, the higher the value. Then there's the broad strike error, which happens when a coin is struck outside the collar that shapes the rim. This creates a wider, flatter coin that lacks a distinct edge. Broad-struck 1981 pennies are rare and sought after, especially in mint condition. You may even come across a clipped planchet error, where a portion of the coin appears to have been bitten off. This mistake occurs when the metal sheet feeding into the blanking machine shifts slightly, resulting in a partially clipped coin. Some 1981 pennies have been found struck on the wrong type of metal blank, such as a dime planchet. These wrong planchet errors are exceedingly rare and always generate excitement at auctions when they are discovered. Let's not forget the critical role of coin condition in determining value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with mint state, MS, coins rated 60 and above. An MS 67 or MS 68 graded penny with a rare error can bring in thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, of dollars. Copper pennies also change color over time. Collectors categorize them as brown, red-brown, or full red. A full red 1981 penny, one that has retained its original mint shine, is significantly more valuable than its darker counterparts. The 1981 D. Lincoln penny also commands attention. While Denver minted millions of pennies that year, a small percentage contained double dies, repunched mint marks, and other varieties that go unnoticed by many but are pure gold to collectors. And don't overlook the 1981 S-proof coins. There are two types, Type 1 with a blurry mint mark and Type 2 with a sharply defined S. The Type 2 proof penny is scarcer and highly collectible, especially when graded PR 69 or PR 70, near perfect condition. Coin collectors and dealers often spend years looking for just the right combination, a rare error, pristine condition, strong luster, and proven authenticity. A penny that checks all those boxes becomes a prized item in any collection. Social media, auction houses, and coin forums are filled with stories of people who discovered a fortune in their pocket change. These stories aren't myths. They're real, and many involve coins just like the 1981 penny. The thrill of numismatics is that it doesn't take a treasure map or metal detector to find value. Sometimes, it only takes a careful glance at a coin you've had sitting in a drawer for years. One small detail can change everything. What's also incredible is that high-value coins are still out there. Despite billions of pennies being minted in 1981, only a few have survived in perfect condition, with rare varieties, full luster, and no signs of wear. That's what makes them so valuable today. Even now, coin grading services like PCGS and NGC continue to certify rare 1981 pennies that surface in collections, estate sales, and even loose change. The hunt is still on, and the prize is very real. So, the next time you come across a penny from 1981, don't ignore it. Take a closer look. Examine the lettering. Check the shine. Look for doubling, unusual shapes, or signs of a minting mistake. That tiny coin might be holding a much bigger story than you think. Whether you're a longtime coin collector or just curious about the value of that handful of change in your kitchen drawer, one thing is clear: the world of pennies holds surprises that go far beyond their face value. And now, here comes the moment you've been waiting for. One extraordinary 1981 Lincoln 1-cent penny, featuring a dramatic double die error, preserved in mint state red condition, and authenticated by a top grading service, was sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $115,000. Top 4. Every once in a while, we stumble across something small that carries a much bigger story. A coin so ordinary, it might pass through thousands of hands unnoticed. But hidden within that small piece of metal can be a story of history, rarity, and unexpected value. And the 1978 Lincoln 1-cent penny is one of those mysterious coins that in a time when a penny is often dismissed or left behind on countertops, few people realize that certain pennies from decades ago are now worth far more than 1 cent. The 1978 Lincoln penny is a quiet legend in the world of coin collecting, and today, we're diving deep into the details that make this particular coin so special. At first glance, the 1978 penny doesn't look all that different from other coins in your change jar. It's made of copper, features a familiar design, and carries the image of one of the most iconic figures in American history. But the deeper you look, the more incredible this penny becomes. The obverse side of the coin, designed by Victor David Brenner, features a right-facing bust of President Abraham Lincoln. Since its introduction in 1909, this portrait has become one of the most recognizable images on U.S. currency. By 1978, it had already been in circulation for nearly 70 years, Just above Lincoln's head is the phrase, "In God We Trust," a phrase that has accompanied him on the penny since its debut. To the left of Lincoln is the word Liberty, and to the right, the year 1978, bold and clean. Beneath that year may be a mint mark, a subtle clue to where your coin was born. Turn the coin over and you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. This reverse design was introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, replacing the older, wheat penny design. Look closely, and you'll even see a tiny depiction of Lincoln sitting in the memorial. The 1978 penny was struck at 3 U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia have no mint mark, while those from Denver carry a small D beneath the date. San Francisco, known for its collector-grade proof coins, used an S mint mark. Most of the 1978 pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, a composition used for many years before the switch to copper-plated zinc occurred in 1982. This copper-heavy composition gives these older pennies their distinct reddish-brown tone and extra weight, setting them apart from modern cents. In terms of quantity, the U.S. Mint struck hundreds of millions of pennies in 1978. That would make you think the coin is common, right? But here's where the story takes a turn. Because not all 1978 pennies were created equal, and not all have survived in pristine condition, when a coin is minted, it goes through an intricate process involving dies, presses, and blanks. Sometimes, things go wrong. And in the world of coin collecting, those mistakes are gold. Errors, misstrikes, and anomalies can turn a regular coin into a rare and highly valuable find. One of the most fascinating and valuable types of minting errors is the double die obverse. This occurs when the coin's design is accidentally stamped more than once in slightly different positions, resulting in doubling of letters or numbers. On the 1978 penny, this kind of error has been found in Liberty or the date itself. Other collectors hunt for off-center strikes, where the coin is misaligned during production. These coins show partial designs and can vary greatly in how off-center the strike is. A dramatic off-center 1978 penny with a clear date is extremely collectible. There's also the broad strike error, where a coin is struck outside its collar. This causes the coin to spread wider than normal, often appearing flat or rimless. A 1978 penny with this type of error instantly stands out, and so does its value. Even more exciting is the clipped planchet error, where part of the coin appears to be cut or missing. These are highly sought after by collectors because they are visually unique and caused by mechanical mistakes during the cutting of blanks. Die cracks, die chips, and repunched mint marks are other anomalies collectors love to find. A small die chip on Lincoln's face or lettering might seem like a defect to most, but to coin enthusiasts, it's a treasure. But perhaps even more important than errors is the coin's condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with mint state, MS, coins rated 60 and above. A 1978 penny graded MS 67 or higher, especially with a rare error or full red luster, can command staggering prices at auction. Color also matters. Copper coins age and darken over time. A 1978 penny with a brilliant full red finish, just like the day it was minted, is far more valuable than one that has turned brown or lost its shine. Proof coins from San Francisco are another important category. These coins were never meant for circulation and were struck with special care. A 1978 S-proof penny in PR 69 or PR 70 deep cameo condition is a collector's dream, with flawless surfaces and mirror-like beauty. Let's not forget the magic of discovering these coins in unexpected places. Sometimes, people find valuable 1978 pennies in rolls from the bank, old jars in basements, or passed down in coin collections from relatives. They sit silently for years, waiting to be rediscovered. What adds even more intrigue is the fact that the U.S. Mint never publicly announced some of these rare errors. They simply happened, slipped through the quality checks, and ended up in circulation, unknowingly delivered into the hands of average Americans. Stories abound of people selling coins they found for hundreds or thousands of dollars. These aren't just rumors, these are verified sales, many documented by professional coin grading services and auction houses. The rise of online auctions and coin forums has only increased demand for unique and rare 1978 pennies. Collectors across the world are constantly on the lookout, with high-grade coins regularly fetching 4 or even 5 figures, and let's be honest, there's something exciting about turning something so small, so overlooked, into something of real value. It's like discovering buried treasure in your own pocket. The thrill of coin collecting lies in the mystery. That unassuming penny in your drawer could be something truly extraordinary. All it takes is a closer look, a little research, and perhaps a bit of luck. The 1978 Lincoln 1-cent penny represents much more than just a unit of currency. It's a piece of history, a product of precision and sometimes imperfection, and a chance for collectors to own a tiny piece of the past with enormous potential. So, if you've got some pennies from the late 70s, especially from 1978, take a second look. Examine the mint mark, the color, the shine. Weigh it, check the edges, and look for anything out of the ordinary. Because the next big discovery might be sitting in your hands right now, and now, for the moment we've all been waiting for. One extraordinary 1978 Lincoln 1-cent penny, featuring a dramatic mint error, preserved in full red uncirculated condition, and professionally graded at a top-tier level, was recently sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $136,000. Top 5. There are some stories that begin quietly, no flashing lights, no breaking news, just a tiny object, quietly sitting in your pocket. A single coin, worth just 1 cent on paper, but in truth, hiding a fortune. Today's story is one of those surprising treasures, the 1990 Lincoln 1-cent penny. Most people pass over pennies without a second thought. They collect in ashtrays, fall between couch cushions, and get left behind on sidewalks. But what if one of those pennies, especially from the year 1990, was far more valuable than anyone could imagine? The United States Mint has been producing the Lincoln cent for over a century. It's the longest-running coin series in U.S. history. But among those billions of coins, some stand apart. Some carry mistakes, special traits, or rare characteristics that elevate them from pocket change to collector gold. The Lincoln penny was first issued in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. Its designer, Victor David Brenner, crafted a striking image of the 16th president that remains iconic to this day. That same image graced the 1990 version of the coin, and it's where the story begins. On the obverse, or front of the coin, you'll see Lincoln's right-facing profile. Above him is the nation's motto, "In God We Trust." To his left, the word "Liberty." And to his right, the date, 1990. But if you look closely, some 1990 pennies are different. And that tiny difference makes all the difference. Turn the coin over, and you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, with even the seated figure of Lincoln visible between the columns. This reverse design by Frank Gasparo had been used since 1959, and for most people, it was just part of everyday life. But for collectors, the real excitement lies in the rare exceptions, the coins that somehow avoided the ordinary and instead became extraordinary. And that's exactly what happened with some 1990 pennies. That year, the United States Mint produced pennies at two main facilities, Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia coins normally carry no mint mark, while Denver coins bear a small D just below the date. However, 1990 also saw the production of proof coins at the San Francisco Mint, and this is where the mystery unfolds. Proof coins are specially made for collectors using polished dies and special blanks. They are struck multiple times to bring out incredible detail and shine. The San Francisco Mint marks these coins with an S mint mark, a proud symbol of quality and craftsmanship. However, in 1990, a small number of proof pennies were mistakenly struck without the S mint mark. These rare coins were accidentally released without the identifying letter, making them appear as though they were struck in Philadelphia, but in reality, they were made at San Francisco. These are known as 1990 No-S proof Lincoln cents, and they're among the rarest modern pennies in existence. Only a limited number escaped into the hands of collectors, making them incredibly hard to find and enormously valuable. What makes these No-S proof pennies even more fascinating is how flawless they appear. Mirror-like fields, sharply struck details, and an almost glowing copper finish, they are among the most beautiful coins ever produced. And their rarity only increases their desirability. Beyond the No-S proof penny, the 1990 Lincoln cent has other potential varieties and errors worth looking for. Off-center strikes, die cracks, double dies, and even coins struck on the wrong planchets have all been recorded for this year. An off-center strike occurs when the blank planchet is not properly aligned with the dies. The result is a coin where part of the design is missing. The more off-center the strike, while still showing the date, the more valuable it can become. Double die errors can also add serious value. These happen when a coin die is struck more than once in a slightly misaligned position, causing letters or numbers to appear doubled. Though rare for 1990, any verified double die is a gem to collectors. Another possible anomaly is the broad strike, which occurs when a coin is struck outside the collar that shapes its rim. This gives the coin a flatter, wider appearance. It's a visual oddity and a favorite among error collectors. Some 1990 pennies have also been found with die chips, especially around Lincoln's face, letters, or the building on the reverse. These small raised blobs of metal, caused by wear or damage to the die, can make a coin truly unique. Now, let's talk about grading. A coin's condition plays a huge role in its value. Collectors seek coins with the least amount of wear, brightest luster, and cleanest surfaces. Coins are graded from 1 to 70, with mint state, MS, grades of 65 or higher commanding high interest. Proof coins, like the 1990 S, are graded using a similar scale. A PR 69 deep cameo or PR 70 grade means the coin is in near perfect condition. Combine that with a missing mint mark, and you're looking at an extremely rare and valuable coin. The color of a copper coin also matters. A full red coin, one that retains its original reddish-orange hue, is more valuable than a brown or red-brown example. Full red 1990 proof pennies are especially desirable. Collectors have been stunned to discover rare 1990 pennies in old proof sets, estate sales, and forgotten collections. It's always worth double-checking your older coins, especially those from sealed sets, for missing mint marks or signs of errors. The story of the 1990 penny is also a reminder of how careful observation can pay off. One small detail, or the absence of a detail, like a missing S, can turn a simple coin into a collector's dream. Auction houses across the country have seen intense bidding wars for these rare no-S proof coins. Collectors know how few exist, and when one shows up, they're ready to pay top dollar to add it to their collection. Some have called the 1990 no-S penny the modern-day 1909 SVDB, a nod to another legendary Lincoln cent. It's proof that even modern coins can become instant classics when the right combination of rarity, beauty, and demand comes together. What makes the 1990 penny especially exciting is that it's still recent enough that many people may own one without knowing it. Proof sets from 1990 are still floating around, untouched, unopened, hiding potential treasures inside. So if you own a 1990 proof set, or if you come across one in a collection, take a good look at that penny. Check for the S mint mark. If it's missing, and the coin is clearly a proof, mirror finish, high detail, you might just be holding a rare piece of American coin history. Even regular 1990 pennies from circulation can hold extra value if they have rare errors, unique coloring, or uncirculated grades. So don't ignore them. Examine every detail, every letter, and every surface, because now, here comes the moment we've been building toward. One stunning 1990 Lincoln 1-cent penny, a flawless no-S proof, preserved in pristine condition and graded by a leading certification authority, was sold at auction for an astonishing total of $70,000.